Hey guys, thanks for the feedback you gave me on the first floor plans. I think you gave me some really actionable feedback. I don't have any major issues with it, but I do want to walk you through the changes and talk about some other questions that I was thinking about as I was laying things out again. So let's start here again at the entry. Made the coat closet here really big. I think it's fine. Um, then what was the coat closet, I'm going to make the utility closet for that central furnace. So that furnace will move from this location here. This rectangle is the old location. We'll shift that down, reconnect to the ducts. I think it'll be okay. I think this is a much better location for a powder room uh, than sort of up here, the sort of pass-through idea. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I like this location here because it's so central to the kitchen, to the library, to the entry, to the family room. I mean, it's literally right in the middle. Everyone can get to it. There's not a direct line of sight to anything really. Um, I think this is great. I do want to play around with the idea of making these some downplayed doors, some concealed doors. So that way, when you come into the entry, you're not seeing these two doors, especially this utility door here. Maybe this door to the powder room could be regular or celebrated or upplayed because it is right in the center of this wall. But definitely this utility closet door. I want to downplay this. Um, we could have the door open this way too, but I don't know. I like this just being a nice solid wall for a bit of art as you lead guests into the formal space here. Okay. Let's see here. So the pantry, I cleaned out the space here. I mean, it's just to show that you could fit quite a lot in here. So I'm still showing the refrigerator in here. I'm showing the two side by side 36-inch Sub-Zero. One would be the refrigerator column. One would be the freezer column. I don't think you'd want to go for, I think you mentioned 7 foot wide in your last email. So we could do two 42-inch wide units, 3 foot 6 inches each, but those have two vertical doors each, so you'd wind up with four doors. And maybe that's what you want. We could talk about that more as we dial in the appliances a bit more. I certainly have room to grow this out a bit farther. But it's a non-structural issue, so I don't know if it's super pressing right now. But with the two 36 inches, a freezer column and a refrigerator column, God, that's a great look. Putting the oven right by here, this is all tall. I hear you about wanting this to be open, so I'll say let's just make this a cased opening. And then let's just sort of flush out this corner, the transition between the garage and where the pantry, loo, and the fireplace wall is. Let's sort of transition this a bit nicer as part of that deep cased opening that announces to people or maybe gives the impression that they're, hey, going into a private space. Now that there's not a door here, I think we need to talk about whether there should be a door here to your long entry gallery. Or do we want this just to be open and people can get a glimpse of it? You especially might want to see it every time you open the garage door. You might not want there to be a door here. You want that long view that's got light at the end of that tunnel, right? So I'd say maybe let's not have a door here, but then let's do something about this secondary passageway, this master closet door. Let's do something else like that's downplayed again, so that people aren't thinking that, oh, let's just quickly pop into their master closet while they're hosting a party in the kitchen. And maybe you could lock it if that's a concern. I don't know, but if it's downplayed, it's really really fun. The laundry, we could touch on this a bit more. This is certainly like an interior design element, how we divvy up this amount of casework. I think the important thing for your builders to know where the hookups are going to go. This could be countertop with or without a sink. Some upper shelving coming along here. And then maybe it sort of stops in sort of either a column or maybe it's just the capped end tall piece of the upper cabinets coming down. And the remainder of the space can be left over to those drying racks or something that maybe mounts to the wall and can not steam heat, but heat up clothes or something like that. Um, I don't know. We need to talk a little bit more about what you'd like to fit here to make sure it fits, but it's very flexible. And even this can shift over quite a bit before we start to have any sort of door conflict here with these large units. All right. Let's see. Let's move on. Um, yeah, you were talking about the power walls, the furnace, the water heater, this utility closet having to come in right here. And I'm just kind of wondering why we don't shift all of that into this utility closet. I've got the three power walls stacked here. I've got the 6-inch and 2-inch clearance that power wall needs. I know it needs 6 feet clear for installation, but I don't think it doesn't require 6 feet of clearance to operate. And that's certainly not how it was shown or what was installed here in this original utility closet. Here's the outline of old meters or those old power walls. Um, and I'm showing just about the same size closet, a little bit deeper so that I actually have 3 feet of to the door here. Um, but I think this works. So maybe we should talk a little bit more detail about what else needs to go in here. Um, but I think this works without having to introduce another door or another alcove in here for a furnace. But let's talk more. I'm excited with how the wine cabinet's looking. I'm really glad that you were open to eliminating this old closet that you can see barely dashed in here. So by demolishing that closet, that does allow us to get into this nice clean hallway to lead down to the office and the future nursery. And I think it's nice. I think this is it's almost 9 feet wide of wine storage. I think it could look like a lot of the inspiration images you've provided. I think it's going to be a very nice jewel piece at the end, while still leaving an ample amount of space for people to get into the hallway. We still want this to be wide, a nice wide opening. So we don't want to get this as wide as it could be at the expense of this opening here, I think. I've cleaned this up a little bit. I'm showing now just the one multi-pass pocket door, just to give you a sense of just how open this is going to be. I think this is going to be very impressive. 20-foot wide opening when these doors are stacked over. And then even when they're in the closed position, as you can see by these sort of lighter rectangles, I mean, that's still going to be a very impressive opening and connection to the outdoors, the view of the covered patio. I know we have a lot of doors to the outside. A lot of the doors are existing. This is really, I guess, the only new door that we're adding. Or we're replacing a lot, but this is the only new opening, I think. Yes, there's a lot of openings open to the outside. I love the idea of raising up the deck to be at the same level as the finished floor for that truly uninterrupted indoor-outdoor connection here, especially at this big Mamma Jamma door. I mean, that's going to be so amazing and so conducive to that indoor-outdoor flow that this home is going to have. Um, the two caveats about raising up the deck is, it's going to have some impact to the crawl space vents that are all around the perimeter of the house now. But I think big whoop. I think we can figure out a way to add more crawl space vents on the outside perimeter of the home or to mechanically ventilate the crawl space to make up for the blocked vents. Not a big deal. The bigger deal might be the fact that I think pretty strongly that if you're going to do a very nice tile out here for this large deck area, it's going to be at the same level as this floor. Man, oh man, do I really want you to consider carrying that flooring material inside of the house as well, just for this part, just for the kitchen and family room. Let this half of the house, this new part of the house that's going to be raised up roof, let this be different than the hardwood and the traditional at the front part of the house. Let this be more contemporary. Let it have the tile flooring indoor and out. I think that would be so impressive. And this room would be this big, interrupted only by a few minor panes of glass. So we can mock this up further when we get into 3D. It certainly doesn't have to stop getting structural engineering going, whether we want this to be tile or hardwood. Um, Tile is going to be a lot more than hardwood, probably 4 to 5 times as much for the material and installation. So it's not a nothing increase, but again, when we look at the cost of this door and the cost of the sub-zeros here and just the cabinetry and all that, yes, the extra tile is more, but I think it's the right move to make, especially if we raise up the deck to be at the same level. Now, hardwood everywhere else throughout except for the bathrooms, that's totally fine. That makes sense. Um, so let's talk about that a bit more. I'm talking about the wine cabinet. Let's now. I don't think we made too many edits here. I move your desk. No big deal. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's talk about this addition area here. Um, Honestly, I just don't know. Even if your builder is saying it's not cost prohibitive because it's such a small area or whatever, I just don't know if it's really worth it. I like having the powder room here. I really like this position. I think it makes sense. If you're in the kitchen and you have to meander all the way over here, I don't know, that just doesn't feel as good to me. Or if you're in the library and dining hall and you have to cut through the family room, I don't know about that. So I would rather see the loo stay here and not bother trying to squeeze in a powder room here. Though I did appreciate the idea of the pass-through loo, with the door to the outside and the door to the inside. I spent a lot of time thinking about this, and just logistically, I don't think anyone's going to be comfortable here. You're going to always be worried about someone popping the door open. If you want to pass through this way, there's more doors anyways. Even if this was a solid wall and we weren't walking through, I just don't like this location as much, and I just don't think it's worth doing this, even this minor addition. Um, I looked at other ways too about saying like, what if we didn't have this be the bathroom, but what if this tried to be gym space? Where we basically put a new wall here with a door leading into the gym, and then this space became really, I don't know what. You just have to walk past it. Yes, you could put some weight racks or something here, I guess. It just really didn't seem worth it to me. I would so much rather um, not fill this in, keep the existing exterior wall, leave the roof alone, and keep a nice bit of glazing right here for this hallway. Um, so let's talk about this more too, especially after you see this one here. Maybe you'll think this isn't as necessary. It just really feels like we're uh, forcing this. But on the good side, I think the steamer and the steam shower you have here should fit just fine. So I got the 48 inch by 33 inch, I think you said it was. You might have said it was 44 inches, so that's fine. We can always just grow the bedroom two a little bit because, oh boy, bedroom two is a bit tiny. It's big enough. I've got the queen size bed in here. There's nightstands for both people to circulate around. People could get by to get into the bathroom and to get to their closet. So it functions. And like you said, the gym's going to be used every day. Let's make that as great as it can be. So with the steam shower here, a little pocket door to get in, that little vestibule area to hang up some robes, I think this could work, but let me know what you think. And then I'm showing two weight rack areas. So I think this move helps a lot. Moving the closets, demoing that out is pretty nice. We got a nice, it's a small closet here, but it's just for guests. The weights could go here, or maybe this again wants to be that little built-in kitchenette. A little counter with an under-counter fridge to keep some cold waters, upper cabinets to store towels, or maybe it's full-height closet to store a lot of equipment. I don't know exactly how much you guys have, but that might be nice too. And so maybe the weights can fit here against the mirror wall. I know this window's going to get closed off. Um, yeah, I think that's it, guys. I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, most especially on the bathroom situation, on the utility closet here, and on this loo. Um, Thanks, guys.